This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined at last by Dec Spelman, Mark Heffron, former British title challenger, and possible fight of the night between Denzel Bentley and at last Mark Heffron. Ekow Essuman against Cedric Paynaud. Dec, massive fight for you on Saturday night against Anthony Yarde. How are you feeling at the moment ahead of this big fight?
Yeah, I'm feeling very well, very good, completely different to 6 weeks ago. I've kind of gone obviously back-to-back camps, but the last one was only 4.5 weeks. I only had 4.5 week notice. I was only actually in the gym was actually only open 2 weeks before that, so I was very fresh going into this. Straight off the back of that, I had 10 days out, and we got this phone call out of the blue. Money was good, my weight was good, I felt good, so we took it.
Yeah, I noticed some of the interviews you do, you seem very, very relaxed before fights. Nothing seems to really faze you. But going into this fight, has anything changed at all?
No, this is just me. I'm relaxed right until it's time to do that ring walk, and then I get nasty. But I think that's the best way to be. You know what I mean? I'm a fighter, fighting man. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way I'll always be. I'll never change.
Big fight for you against Denzel Bentley, the man who's actually just behind us. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Yeah, feeling very good, very confident. Had a good camp, everything's gone to plan, and just can't wait for Saturday now.
I've spoken to Denzel in the past, and he's always sort of mentioned sort of your name, not disrespectfully at all, just a guy who wants to face. How long has Denzel been on your radar for?
This fight has been talked about. I've personally know for probably the last 5-6 months. As soon as the fight got put to me, I said yeah to it straight away. I won't turn any fight down. Do you know what I mean? I'm up for any fight. Do you know what I mean? And Denzel's, the fight got put to me, so I said yeah to it straight away. It's going to be a good fight. Yeah.
Mark Heffron's a guy you've always sort of spoken about as a possible opponent. Obviously not disrespectfully, but it's just always been the guy you've spoken about. Why now though? Why do you feel like this is sort of the right time to have this fight?
Well, I thought the right time to have the fight was when it first got put to me last year, but I'm guessing for them it was after the McCall performance. I know they've got the same manager, so he probably feels like he's seen something that that Mark can exploit or whatever. So I reckon they've kind of convinced themselves to take the fight, which is cool. I'm not saying they were ducking or anything, but they'll probably disregarded me at first, but it's a fact to get them right back in the mix after the Liam Williams loss, because they haven't fought anyone since then. And I'm on a roll right now. I'm 13 wins in, and I just feel like I can carry on my momentum and pick up another win against a top 5 ranked level 5 in Britain.
Cedric Paynaud, we saw him against Conor Benn all those years ago. Fought twice, gave him a good fight in the first fight. Have you seen that fight? Do you take anything from that fight?
I saw that fight at the time. I obviously thought at the time Conor Benn's ability to box was kind of brought into question because of how he failed to box Paynaud how he should have done. But he came back in the second fight and fought him better. However, for me facing Paynaud it's different because that fight was so many years ago. Paynaud's a different fighter now, so I'm focusing on what he's like now.
This is coming just 6 weeks after the Lyndon Arthur fight. Do you see that as a positive in the fact that you're probably quite fresh, or a negative in such short notice?
Yeah, well, obviously I was a little bit sore the week after. But yeah, I mean, I'm fresh, very, very good in fact. I come in, like I said, I had about 10 days out. Didn't really do it, just chilled really. Went back to work actually, and then
what did you do?
Scaffolded. Okay. And then I had to go in and ask my boss for another 4 week off. But yeah, we are where we are now. But I feel good. It's all about how I feel now. And look, I've had flat days in the gym, but I do in any camp. And I've had very good days. And it's all about how I feel now. And now I feel 100 times better to what I did when I was boxing Lyndon.
So, you had that fight with Liam Williams. Probably seems like a while ago now, but what's the key things you sort of took from that fight in defeat that you've learned from, because you've won 4 on the bounce since?
There's been loads of things that we took out of that fight, and obviously I don't really sit on camera now. You see that on Saturday night.
Liam is fighting in a few weeks against Andrew Robertson. Possibly, if he comes through that, it looks like he's going to move on to that WBO title shot. So the winner of this fight is in a great position, not only in Britain, but also in the world rankings with the IBF European title on the line.
Definitely, mate. I just got to get a good win over Denzel on Saturday, and the British titles there, innit? And just can't wait for him. Looking forward to it, yeah.
Regardless of the title being there or not, it's extra motivation anyway because he's a tough guy and I can't let him, feel like he can do what he wants to do in there. So the title just makes it extra. That's the bonus, and that's my rewards for coming out on top on Saturday.
Now, the IBF European welterweight title's on the line. Are you still the English champion as well?
Yeah, still the English champion. Won it and defended it twice now. Still waiting for more challenges to come, but right now the focus is on the European.
It's also your Frank Warren debut, so congratulations on signing with Frank. I think it was in April that I can remember. Are you out to impress Frank as well on sort of your promotional debut?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm out to show him exactly what I'm about, but what I can guarantee people is that it's going to be an exciting fight, because when I'm in fights, I'm coming to fight, and I know he's coming to fight, so I'm going to put on a nice performance for you all.
Why do you think Anthony Yarde's style is more suited to your game?
Well, look, obviously for one, he's not like a 6'6" like a Shakan Peters, or he's not a 6'3" like a Lyndon Arthur for one. He's actually smaller than me, weighing him up there, which is great for me, do you know what I mean? I'll be able to use some of my skills myself, what I haven't really been able to show. I do it day in, day out in the gym, and Carl tells me I'm a very frustrating fighter to train, and when it does all come together, there's been that many occasions where they haven't, the mod occasions, sorry, where they have, and I've really put it together and I've looked very good, and I plan on doing that Saturday. There should be no reason why not. I feel great.
How much have you watched of Denzel? He's obviously unbeaten, he's got good knockout power like yourself. Have you watched much of him?
Yeah, I've watched loads of him. Good fighter, good boxer, looks like a good puncher. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight for as long as it lasts.
It seems like a good sort of marker to see where you're at as well, considering he has sort of fought at the British level. Is this probably the perfect fight at the perfect time?
Yeah. I'd say that. I think it's the perfect fight at the perfect time. I think I'm ready. I'm excited to go. I'm excited to get to work Saturday, and a win would do me a whole world of good.
Do you think this is a bit of a sort of breakout fight in terms of the publicity you're going to get on BT Sport, possibly in America? I'm not sure at the moment, but just sort of good for your profile as well to show, I guess, sort of the guys you want domestically.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's on a bigger, huge platform. And before, I've been going kind of under the radar in the sense that I haven't been on these big TV shows, so people know I'm the English champion. They don't know how the performance I put on to become the English champion. They don't know how I beat Tyrone Nurse. They don't know what I did to Curtis Felix. So now they're going to know what I'm going to do to Payne.
What do you have to be most wary about, do you think, going into Saturday night?
Yeah, obviously the obvious is power. I'm not going to shy away from someone with power. We broke down his record. He's not been in with many fully fledged like Evans. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not even reading into that too much. I'll see when I'm in there. I rate the guy. Obviously, he's gone across to Russia and went 11 rounds with Kovalev. I can't say a bad thing against the guy. He's never dissed me. So I'm not going to stand here and say he's this and that, because he's not. He's a very good fighter, and I know what I'm prepared for, and I'm prepared for to be in there, one of the biggest hitters I've been in. He's knocked everybody pretty much out his face. So I'm expecting him to have punching power, but am I looking too far into that? No, not really.
I just got to get a good win over Denzel on Saturday, and the British titles there, innit? And just can't wait for him. Looking forward to it, yeah.
How's the new Peacock gym?
It's nice, man. It's good. I'm enjoying it there so far. Good facilities. I'm gonna miss all the boys in that, but it's kind of good, like getting your own space and having a full ring to spar and all that stuff. So I guess that's a positive in it, and it's just a nice gym, man. It's a nice gym.
What are you going to do to Payne? What are you expecting from this fight, and how are you going to perform?
He's a very tough opponent. Don't get me wrong on that. But what I'm going to do to him is what I do to everyone else. Just go in there, and I'm going to wear him down. And if I see him, that little shink in his armour, I'm getting him out of there. If not, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to still put on a good performance. But that's how I deal with every fight.
I think what people love about your style is that no matter who it's against, you're coming forward, to try and knock the other guy out. So I don't think we're going to expect any surprises on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's it. What you see is what you get. I'm a big ticket seller in my hometown where I'm from, and that's exactly why. I'm not shied away from anyone. I've not ducked no one. I always come for a challenge. So yeah, it'll be exactly the same. The way we go about it might be a little bit different. You know, I've got a little bit of a game plan for this. If it works, who knows? It might not do. It might do. You know what I mean? But we've got something we're going to try. We've seen a few chinks in his armour. So I'll be looking to put into practice what we've been doing in the gym.
Just one thing I wanted to pick up from what you said in the press conference. You suggested that Anthony has a few yes men in his camp. What did you mean by those comments?
Yeah, it wasn't an insult. I got picked up on it. It wasn't an insult. I just told him that just then. That's the way he goes about his way, you know. He's surrounded by yes men, whether he likes it or not. That's the fact. No one's going to tell him what he's doing wrong. I know. You know what I mean? I surround myself around realists to tell me if I'm shit, I'm shit. You know what I mean? If I'd have had a bad day in the office, they'll tell me what exactly I've gone wrong. I don't believe he's got that, and you know that could be a big factor.
Does this give you sort of another option if you want to go sort of IBF route?
Yeah, no, but we can win that, get a world ranking and still go to domestic routes, like just to gain a bit more experience. I've only had 13 fights, so there's no rush to get to world level. But I do want to be at world level in the next 2 years. But we spend the next year winning out the British and stuff. At the end of the day, all them dreams are crushed if I don't win Saturday. So I got to focus properly on what I'm doing on Saturday, come back with a win and move on from there. And then all these other thoughts that pop into my mind will be nice to speak on.
One fight I did just want to get your opinion on was I saw sort of after Felix Cash's win, a few people were calling for you to face him sort of in the not too distant future. Is that a fight that would interest you?
Yeah, Frank and Eddie can, you know, work well. As they've said, they're having a meeting and stuff. If they can end up working well together, after the first few link-ups, whatever, then that's a fight I'll probably call for. If you know we're both still around and we're both still doing our thing, that would be a nice fight to have. I think that's a very intriguing fight. That's as big as this fight I'm having now.
Of the sort of domestic level, who do you sort of rate as, say, the top three? You can say yourself if you want.
Yeah, I rate myself above everyone else. Ex-gym mate Josh Kelly and Chris Congo are also really good fighters. I've heard and seen a few things on Mikey McKinson. Yeah. He seems like a good boxer as well.
Is that a fight that interests you? Because I spoke to Mike a few weeks ago or a month ago, something, and he said that he can't get a fight at sort of domestic level.
I mean, if it makes sense with the promotions and they put him in front of me, I'll treat him like everyone else, someone in my way. That's the way I see it, because you can't be in boxing just to be a number, just to box, fight, Mickey Mouse opponents and not really go nowhere. If someone's ahead of you, which he's ahead of me in the ranking, if he gets in the ring with me, I'm just going to go through him.
So you were in sort of camp with Josh Kelly. I think you mentioned in the press conference you were close to sort of getting that Olympic sort of dream. What sort of happened in sort of that, and what do you remember from being in camp with Josh?
He just got the nod over me, really, because it was down to like the coaches and that they pick who they feel would do better. They felt he would have done better, that's fair enough, but now that we're pros, it's my chance to prove everyone that I should have gone. Guaranteed. If I face Chris Jenkins or Josh Kelly, those fights are going to be spectacular. People are going to want to pay a lot of money for them fights.
Final prediction?
A knockout. It's going to be a knockout. If he's coming to me for a knockout, I'm going to meet him. As simple as that. I don't know any other way. If he's going to put it on me, I'm going to put it on.
A lot of people are saying this is fight of the night. Do you see this going anywhere else but a knockout?
That's just what we see on Saturday night. So no matter what, it's going to be a Kid Dynamite win. That's the main thing. I mean, I promised my little girl I'm going to bring her home a new belt, and I'm definitely going to bring it back.
Can we only sort of expect a knockout on Saturday night?
You can say so. It just depends what version of me comes out, which I don't know until I get there. But yeah, you can sort of expect a knockout. Well, from my side anyway, I'm going to be doing the knocking out. Like we'd have to wait and see what happens on the night.
Just a final prediction for Saturday night.
Saturday night, I'm going to go in there, see what he's like. He's going to come at me, probably wear himself down. I'm going to see a chink in his armour and take him out.
There you have it, Ekow Essuman. Thanks very much for talking to Pro Boxing fans. We'll definitely catch up soon. Best of luck Saturday night.